Hi guys, so today I want you to turn in your math journals to page 311, 311. And what we're going to do is go over this and one other page, and that's all you are going to need to do today. So if you look on page 311, your first question should be pick a face of the cube. If you remember what a face is on a three-dimensional shape, it's always that flat side. So on this three-dimensional cube, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 faces because you have 4 on the outsides and then a top and a bottom. It's always those flat sides of the shape. So what you're going to do is pick a face of the cube. Okay, so if you want to pick any face, I'm just going to pick this one here, the one that I can see. And it says how many other faces are parallel. So if you remember parallel, it's the side that is completely never going to touch it. So if you were to put the two sides together like this, if you can see me, and you were to draw a straight line either way, they would never ever touch each other because they're parallel. So how many other faces are parallel? You would only have one face that is parallel because the other sides would be perpendicular. Pick an edge of the cube. So if you remember what an edge is, it's those lines that connect two different lines. So if you have a line here, it connects to either this line or this line. So that's what makes it an edge. So it says how many other edges are parallel to it. So if I pick this edge right here, I would have this edge, I would have this edge, and then I would have this edge in the back parallel to it. So that would make 3. Okay, so there would be 3 parallel edges to that edge right there that I picked. Number 2, calculate the volume. Remember, volume, you just do length times width times height. So here's your length, here's your width, here's your height. So for this equation, you would do 5 times 8 times 6. And then you would need to figure out, okay, 5 times 8, figure that out, and whatever that is, you times it by 6 to get your volume. For number 3, write A, P, or V to tell whether you would need to find the area, perimeter, or volume. Remember, area is base times height. Perimeter, you count the sides, you just add up all the sides. And then the volume, like number 2, you do the length, the width, and the height. So if you're finding the distance around a circular track, tell me what it would be. Area, perimeter, volume. If you were buying a tile for bathroom floor, so try to picture bathroom floor, you would probably do the bottom times the height. So base times height, remember what I said for that. And then filling a pool with water. I will tell you that that one's gonna be volume. Because for that, you're not only finding the square footage, but you're finding kind of the inside of if that pool was filled, you would be finding the volume, all that inside, kind of like the 3D shape. For number 4, remember that the bigger the negative, I'll write it here, bigger the negative, the smaller the number or amount. So for here, you have a negative 15, you have a positive 3. Obviously, that one's going to be, the negative 15 is way smaller than that positive. Okay, but here, they try to trick you. Oh, well, 43 is bigger than 21, so it must be greater than. No, because if anything, the greater than sign always goes to the bigger. But the greater the negative, the smaller the number. Okay, I will give you a hint on here. Negative 3/4 is the same as negative 0.75. And negative 13.5 is the same as negative 13.5. Remember, the bigger the negative, the smaller the amount. Number 5, for which number is 8 a factor? If you do not remember what a factor is, you need to look in your Math MCA packet. I'm not going to do these ones for you because factors and multiples we get mixed up a lot of the times. But a factor is different than a negative. For number 6, round each number to the nearest hundredth. Remember, when you have place value, you're going to have your decimal, you're going to have place value, you're going to have place value, you're going to have another place value. And after the decimal, remember the place value is tenths. Then, after tenths, you have hundredths. And then you have thousandths. So if you were to have place value here, let me split these up a little bit more than they are right now. So if you have, 1 second. If you have tenths, hundredths, and then you have thousandths over here, I'm just going to make a new line. After your decimal, your decimals were right here. Kind of hard to see. I know that my hundredths is the second spot or place value after my decimal. So right here, the 6 is your hundredths. And your number is either going to stay a 6 or it's going to go up to a 7, depending on that next number after it. So if I have 12.368, it's either going to be 12.36 or 12.37. So for this one, it's going to be 12.37 because if I look here, the number after my 6 is bigger than a 5. And remember, 5 and above, or 5 to 10, is going to make it go up 1. So my answer for that would be 12.37. For the next one, in my hundredth spot, I have an 8. But look here, it's trying to trick you. If I have 234.98 or 99, you have to look, okay, well, 8 and 9 are pretty close to each other, but that next number is above a 5. So that 8 is going to change to a 9, okay? You should be able to do the next 3 based on that. Remember, your hundredth spot is your your second spot after the decimal. Okay, when you're done with 311, I want you to go to 314, 314. And this is kind of the rate table that we did yesterday. Notice your pattern. If I have 1, 2, blank, 4, 5, even without looking, you should know that that next number is 3. So now, if I look at number of pizzas and number of servings, there's 1 pizza for 3 servings. So if I know that 1 to 3, I times it by 3. If I have 2 here, I'm going to times it by 3 to give me 6. If I times this 5 by 3, it'll give me 15. So now look, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, you're going by 3s. But now it asks how many pizzas are needed for 279 servings. So if you know every pizza is 3 servings, and you have 279 servings, you're going to have to take 279 divided by 3. Oh, my number lock was off there. 279 divided by 3 to get you your answer there. So you're going to need to figure that out. No using a calculator. For the next one, I'm going to have you just cross out number 2 and then go down to number 3. These ones are a little bit different. So if I have m plus 40 equals negative 60, some of you just want to say, oh, m is 20. But look here, this is negative 60. So if I have negative 60 and I have 40 here, how many m's would you need to make over here equal negative 60 if I have 40 positives? So what you need to think is 40 plus 60 equals 100 and make it a negative. I want you to just try these next 3. I know some of you are going to get stuck. These will just be for fun. They don't need to be due. So make sure you're watching the video so you know that 3B, C, and D are just for you to do for fun. They're not graded. For number 4, complete the name collection box. It says 8.01. So what you need to do here in these 5 spots are tell me ways that you can get 8.01. So I know that 8 plus 0.01 is 8.01. Now you need to find 4 more. Kind of have fun with this. I'd like to see what you come up with instead of just doing like 8 plus 0.1 minus 0.1 plus 0.1. Kind of have fun with this so I can see what you come up with for those. For number 5, fill in the blank with one of the words below. Okay, look here at this bag. Pretend these are little blocks in this bag. Without looking, it is blank, so it's impossible, unlikely, or likely that a B block will be pulled. Okay, well, count your B blocks. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now count how many total blocks there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, well, if you know that 3 out of the 12 blocks are B, is that impossible? No. Is it unlikely? Well, yeah, 3 out of 12 isn't much. Or is it really likely? Not really. So your answer there would be unlikely. It's likely, but not by much. Okay, and then your last question, we're just going to cross out box 6. And that's all I have for today.